Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix. Hello everybody, welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 611.
211.
Why do I keep doing... Oh my god.
I don't know. You keep giving us 400
like
bonus
3
episodes.
weeks in a row. It's like 3 weeks in a row I've done 600. I don't know why. I need us to get to 300. So I can stop doing this.
Enough.
So the next 90 episodes is going to be me fucking up the number. Okay, so 211. My name is Rob, as always, here to talk shop, comics, et al. And joining me, as always, is Josh.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in
Comic books. There you go.
Yeah.
Shut up, it works. Hey, everybody.
I didn't say anything. All right, so, yeah, it's a fine Thursday evening in Eastern Standard Time.
Indeed it is.
I would say that, but we're in different parts of the world, albeit the same time zone.
This is true as well.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful world in Comicsville.
It certainly is. And as Brandon, on his European vacation, he dropped us a link from an Instagram post from a writer.
Sure did.
Let me pull it up here. I guess officially announced. Actually, we got two things officially announced. But the one he mentioned today is, let me pull up the Instagram page so I see who the writer is, because I don't remember the team. Tate Brumbaugh, is the Instagram handle, is going to be writing a Batgirl series centered around Cassandra Cain starting in November 2024. And it will be drawn by Takeshi Miyazawa.
It is something I am looking forward to incredibly.
Hell yeah, me too. Especially with Takeshi's art. I'm just going through the Instagram page right now, and Takeshi's art is fucking awesome.
He is one bad mamma jamma, my man.
And I'm pretty sure I picked up an issue of Mech Cadets. I think there was a free comic book day version of Mech Cadets, which was one that he co-created. I gotta go back and check. Looks cool. Yeah, so that's something to look forward to, but equally as interesting, depending on who you ask. Also coming in November, a Black Label miniseries coming from Tom King and Brian Sook, focused on Black Canary, will be happening. And Tom King says it will be likened to his Supergirl Women of Tomorrow series, but centered around Black Canary specifically. So we have that coming.
Yeah.
There is a cover from David Nakayama, and my God, does DNA rock? Seriously.
No, he sure does, dude. No disputing that whatsoever.
Interesting.
You got any more comic news?
Yeah, I was just looking at the first paragraph on that article. It's from Bleeding Cool, and apparently they were very mean to AIPT for apparently publishing fake news, which I find very ironic.
Ain't that the damn truth?
Yeah. Yeah, there is one more that I have. There is potentially, at least rumored, and again, this is from Bleeding Cool, so take it with a grain of salt. Another series from Tom King called Trinity, and it will be focusing on Diana's future daughter, Lizzie.
Blah.
But it will, like, you know how the backup is been about so far, different time periods. Apparently, the series
Yes.
will also follow that state, and it's going to be inspired by. Excuse me, I can't remember what the name of the story was, but there was a Wonder Woman story decades ago where something similar happened, um, where there was adult Wonder Woman, like teen Wonder Woman, and kid Wonder Woman, all thanks to time travel nonsense, ended up at the same place and had to beat a villain together. Um, so it's inspired by that, and it will be focused on Trinity working with Superman and Batman, John Kent and Damian Wayne.
That's
But that is
awesome.
rumored. It's just rumored. It's not confirmed. And that, as far as I remember or know, is all I have.
Well, you've got everything that I've had, so now what?
I guess we could call it.
All right, man. Everybody, thanks for listening, and we'll see you around. Thanks. I'm just kidding.
It's August, not April. April Fool. Fuck, when was the last show? There's more DC Comics graphic novels coming. You posted this one, I believe.
I did?
Like last week.
Ah.
Yeah, I was just looking at this. We have a date for Green Lantern Corps Omnibus Volume 2.
That's right.
It's coming
That's
October
right.
15th, as well as a book I've had pre-ordered for a month now, Green Lantern, The Defeat of Green Lantern, a DC Finest collection of Silver Age stories, $40, coming December 3rd, as well as The Flash, The Human Thunderbolt, also from DC Finest, Superman, The Coming Superman, also from DC Finest, all coming, both of those coming in November. Superman, The Triangle Era Omnibus, which I believe was previously announced, coming September 3rd, House of Brainiac, Compendium? It doesn't really say, just a Superman House of Brainiac. Oh, it was $25, so that's going to be like a trade. Animal Man Compendium, I believe that it's not Jeff Lemire, because I think that already exists. That's $60. Sorry, that's October 1st, I mean to say. Hellblazer Omnibus Volume 1 coming October 15th.
Got some time to save up for it, is what he's trying to say.
Pretty much. That's all you posted. You sent a screenshot. You didn't send a link. So I don't know what else there is.
Well, that's all we know.
Yeah.
My bad. Oh, you know what? I think I got the screen cap off of Reddit. I could be correct. Yeah, I could be mistaken though.
Did our omnibus collectors?
Yes.
Yeah, I follow that too.
It's
yeah,
possible
so
anyway.
that's about all I have in terms of news.
That's about all you have in terms of news.
Since you don't have any news either, should we talk about comics that are not DC? Because there's some pretty good stuff this week.
Oh man, alive! Well,
Have you read any of it?
When it comes to, let me bring up my list here because we know how I am with memory. But there we go. I have read the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I am completely caught up on Thundercats and Chitara. I am caught up on Ultimate Black Panther,
Right on.
Ultimate Spider-Man,
Right on.
the new X-Men.
Which act, like X-Men or Uncanny?
Just X-Men.
Okay, so Jed McKay's X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am not yet caught up on Space Ghost.
Okay. I have to catch up with Thundercats. Space Ghost, I wasn't like overly caught by the first issue, so I don't know that I'm going to continue that, but I
I
might give
think
the second
it's
issue a try.
like I think it's gonna be, if we stick around, it's gonna be a pretty cool hero sci-fi tale.
Yeah. Like the thing that drew me into it was it's a classic character potentially being reimagined, and also it's space, and I love space stories. But that issue just felt like a comic strip as opposed to a grandiose first issue.
That's
Right?
fair.
Like it had a story, it had a beginning, middle, and end, and it was an interesting story, but it didn't feel like it was big enough. Like this is supposed to be like a grand reinvention return of Space Ghost in comic books, and it's just that's what you get is Space Ghost in comic books. There's nothing
I
special about it.
I got I'm not completely caught up. I've read issue 2 and it does start to come together, so I feel like this is more of a slow setup.
Okay. Does it build off of what happened in the first issue?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So because I got the vibe like that just seemed like an intro, like here's Space Ghost, he's meeting these characters, and the next issue they're just going to be doing shit. That's the vibe I got. Um, but it's good that they're going to be like building off of it. So that's maybe I'll give the second issue a try.
Do that. I
Yeah.
suggest it anyway.
I have also read the first issue of TMNT. That was very interesting. I can't wait for the second one. I think if it's
I
not
really
this
liked
week,
it.
I think it's next week is one of the sibling books comes out. I don't remember what it's called.
Explain sibling books.
Like it's not a spin-off, but it's a book that's connected and it's in the same universe.
Got ya. Okay.
Yeah. Like there's nothing happened in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to set up this book, but it's happening together.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's like concurrent.
Yeah.
That's the word we're looking for. Like jail sentences.
Yeah, sure.
That's what we meant.
Well, ultimately, that's a good segue. Well, I guess kind of. I was going to go into X-Men, but I could talk about Ultimate Comics first. I've read Ultimate Black Panther, caught up on all of them. Ultimates number 3 came out this week.
I have not read Ultimates.
You have not read that. Oh, you haven't read Ultimates? Okay.
No, I haven't read Ultimates at all. I started Ultimate X-Men. I put it down. I'm not interested in learning about a new juvenile X-Men team.
I mean,
like I like Peach Momoko's art.
Yeah.
I prefer, if I'm being honest, just in relation to this series, I prefer the stuff I saw on Marvel Snap to what's being drawn here. But
the stuff Peach Momoko had in Marvel Snap was just covers.
Yeah. And what we see here, I don't think it's quite the matter of not having enough time to draw it, but I think it's more Peach Momoko drawing to fit the tone of the book, the characters of the book.
It's 100% the tone.
It works. It's just I just don't want to learn about a brand new team. I'm learning about where the old teams are right now. Like Magneto's on the good guys again. It's like fuck me. Okay, let's figure this out.
If it means anything, most if not all of the characters were pre-existing X-Men, with the exception of one character.
In what?
Ultimate X-Men.
Well, then after I read 2, I must not have picked anything up.
Well, I mean, the lead character is Armor.
I'm not familiar with Armor.
You're not? Oh shit! Yeah. I think Armor was.
I thought it was a new character.
Grant Morrison creation. I think she was from New X-Men.
In Ultimate X-Men, the one Peach Momoko is doing.
Yeah.
Is a little Japanese kid.
Yeah.
That's Armor?
That's Armor, yeah.
Yeah, then no, I don't know them. Or at least I've forgotten, which is, hey, something cool. I'll get a surprise when I reread it.
I think she armors up by the end of the first issue, or at least by the end of the second. Like the spirit charm covers her.
Kicks in, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I mean, yeah, that happens.
that's armor.
Okay.
That's the same mutant power that Armor had in X-Men. I don't remember Armor's real name. From 616 universe anyway. I don't remember. It's probably the same name, but I don't remember. Might have been Astonishing X-Men actually. Not New X-Men. I think Astonishing X-Men was Armor's first appearance. I will bury a lead here. Nico Minoru shows up later on. Nico Minoru from Runaways. Nico.
I did not put that together, unless you're talking about after issue 2.
I don't remember which issue exactly.
I don't remember.
It was
Nico
either issue 2 or 3.
It had to be 3.
But I think Molly Hayes is there with her, but I don't remember for sure. But yeah, eventually, like you'll see. I don't know all the characters, but I looked them up, and all of them were pre-existing X-Men, pre-existing mutants that were in comics before. So I get like if you don't know them and learning about all these new characters, but that's also what Ultimate is. Even if you know Spider-Man, you're learning about Spider-Man. Because
it's a character that's familiar. It's just watching them go through different things, and that's something that I've done, numerous times.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
That's
Maybe
fair.
it's not just that. It's not pulling me in.
That's fair.
Black Panther and Spider-Man got me stuck in a fucking net. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Black Panther, I'm enjoying. The art is fantastic. The story's interesting. It's just really slow for me.
It does feel a little slow, as far as the story developing, but I do like how much they are defining each person's personality.
Yeah,
like everybody's personalities, and Storm's in it, so fuck yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, yep.
Ultimate so far.
X-Men is good. It's just, like if I had to rate the 3, it would be in third. Sorry, I cut you off there. What'd you say?
Your camera's off, by the way.
Oh shit.
Ultimates.
Then hold on one second.
Has been kind of all over the place. Like each issue, you know how even Spider-Man, even though each issue is taking place in the month it releases, so
Yeah.
it's been 7-8 issues, and it's been almost like 7-8 months of story. It's still like kind of flowing as one story, right? Black Panther and X-Men are doing the same, not month by month, but it's one obviously big story. Ultimates is jumping around. Like they're just
to a bunch of different stories. Is that what you're saying? Or?
Yeah, like the whole story here is the core team of Ultimates, and core spoiler alert for those that have not read it yet, consists of Tony Stark as Iron Lad. This is a very young Tony Stark. Thor, Lady Sif, Captain America.
Which Thor? Like traditional?
Like,
there's been a couple different Thor types.
I know, but I don't know how to like Ultimate Thor. Like, I don't know how to answer that.
I don't know who Ultimate
when you say
Thor
traditional, what do you mean by traditional?
I don't know who Ultimate Thor is. So, like, who is Ultimate Thor?
He's Thor.
Is it Thor Odin's son, or?
Yeah, like, are they all?
I mean, no. There's been like the fucking bull guy, and there was a doctor, and there was a chick, and those are all things that have happened.
Okay, so you're talking about Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill, that's the one dude's name.
He was not Thor. He just had the power of Thor.
Close enough.
You're talking about Jane Foster, who also was like, she called herself Thor, but really she had the power of Thor. And you're talking about, I don't remember his name, the doctor that had the cane where he gets turned into Thor.
Yeah.
It's still Thor. It's still Thor Odinson.
Power of Thor be damned.
Yeah, you're the power of Thor. It's Thor Odinson, but he's got the ultimate version costume. So there's no cape and like fancy helmet. It's just like a. Do you remember what he looked like in the first Avengers movie?
Yeah.
When they were on the helicarrier?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
There's like no sleeves, kind of a vest kind of thing going on. That was it. Look a lot like that. 6 circles,
So,
yeah.
So Black Panther is Ultimate Black Panther is like, yo, dude, you're about to fight the combined strength of Khonshu and Ra. Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man's like, yo, dude, you're gonna forget you were ever a fucking hero, and you're gonna have to learn all of this shit all over again, and you don't see it coming yet, but something tragic's gonna happen. And I can tell you that's true because you're Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Whoops. And then we're sitting over there with Ultimate Thor, and it's like, yo, dude, wardrobe change.
I mean, not really, because it's the same wardrobe we wore in the Ultimate Universe for the past 20 years.
I mean, anyway, okay. I meant, never mind.
I get what you're saying, but it's not quite there.
I'm an outsider. I don't know. Oh, outsiders. We're gonna get to those later.
We are. But the thing about Ultimates is they're jumping from place to place, building the team. So while it is technically a coherent story, it's not like one issue picks up where the last one left off. There's mission and then mission and then mission, and they don't talk about the missions previous. They're just talking about the current mission.
Right.
And it's interesting because they keep picking up these characters, but we never see them.
Is it gonna be like what is that movie Crash, where it's like all these different stories and then they're all gonna come together? And
it could be, but I mean, like, the team is showing up in all these different places, finding all these other people, but these people they find don't show up again.
Yeah.
Right? Except for Giant Man and Wasp.
Gotta have Giant Man, gotta have Wasp.
Yeah, they were like the first issue.
Tight.
But then you also see, kind of spoiler alert, you do see Jim Hammond.
Hello, Jim.
You see America Chavez.
What's up? You know what? I don't care. I like America Chavez. Granted, I'm not that big Marvel head. I haven't seen everything she's in or how she's been depicted, but the little that I know about her, I enjoy that character.
I do too. Yeah, she's great. And more recent, like this week's issue is about Hulks or Gamma Mutates, more specifically.
Gamma Mutates.
Yeah.
So Jennifer and Bruce.
I think no, it's
Abomination.
That's
and
what
Red Hulk.
I'm not going to spoil because it's actually not about any of those.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's actually quite an interesting story.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know when we're going to get to some coherency. Like the whole point is Tony is building this team of heroes so he can go up against the, I don't remember what they call themselves, the quote unquote cabal of the Ultimate Universe, which is Ra and Khonshu are part of them, right?
Collectively known as
Kingpin.
Moon Knight.
Yeah,
Kingpin is a part of it.
Kingpin's a part of it. Captain Britain is a part of it.
No, Brian, what's wrong with you, man?
It's not Brian because he's French.
Captain Britain is French?
Yes. Kind of bugs me. I don't. I know. Here's the thing:
They're doing it wrong.
If you've looked at any of the maps in like the beginnings of the early issues, you'll see the country, the world is divided differently. So instead of 6 continents and different countries they're in, it's 6 territories, and they're all divided between different like leaders in this dark cabal. And Europe as a whole is controlled by Captain Britain. This French guy took the sword from the previous Captain Britain. I think if I remember right, I think he killed Brian Braddock and took the sword and became Captain Britain. And moved the kingdom of Captain Britain to all of Europe, and now basically runs Europe as a superpower.
That doesn't seem very nice.
No. I mean, again, these people are assholes.
And
that's why Ron Contra were controlling Africa.
All of Europe goes by France. Or just goes by Europe. And the dude happens to be
No, they all have like different names. Like names, yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. It's an interesting dynamic. It really is. The thing I'm most like, I think I'm liking Ultimate Spider-Man the most, but the one I'm most curious about is Ultimate X-Men, because I'm curious how it fits into the overall story. You can see how all the other books are connected, but Ultimate X-Men so far is seemingly mostly its own thing.
I mean, surely we'll find out sooner or later.
I do hope so.
It's still in my read list.
Hey, you don't have to read it. You don't have to read it. I'm just that's all I'm saying. I get the art. If you're not, I'll say it like this: if you're not necessarily a longtime manga reader or a manga fan, you might not enjoy that art style too much because it is very manga style.
The thing is, okay, so I do enjoy the art style. It's just what's being drawn with it, like just the childhood and those particular landscapes. I'm thinking like I could see this art style in just a strict horror book and other stuff. It's just not fitting here for me.
Yeah, like it's. I feel like Peach Momoko was very much channeling horror manga when she was drawing this, because it has that look.
Well, yeah, it's the manga thing that might throw me too. Well, I can appreciate some of those art styles that are employed in manga, which, isn't varied. Yeah. It's definitely not my favorite. It's worked in some places, like, oh God, what was the name of that book? Future State Gotham. I really dug that.
That was well done. But that was so, like, even with mangakas can have different styles, but like with the tone they draw in, not just their own art style, their individual art style, but the mangakas can have different tones depending on the theme of the book. Like a shonen, an action adventure book, will be heavier lines. It'll be more clear images, so you can see the action happening. Horror will be a little more faint, a little more faded, maybe a little foggy at times, because they want to add to the allure of, do you really know what's going on? Sports manga will be drawn with a lot of blurry shapes because they want it to be fast. That kind of deal. So that's what's going on here. That's the difference you'll see between Future State Gotham and Ultimate X-Men, is shonen versus horror, right? Yeah. So that's ultimately what it's going to be. So it could just be the horror manga might be. God, I said the horror manga might be just a little bit off kilter for you. Have you ever read The Curse of Amigara Fault?
No.
By Junji Ito. It is most people's, I don't know about most people's, but a lot of people's intro into horror manga. It was my intro into horror manga, and I fucking love it. I will send it to you, and let me know what you think. It doesn't have as faint of lines as Peach Momoko, but it is very much a creepy-ass story.
Okay, fair enough.
see if that maybe like changes your perception on the style a little bit.
We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, X-Men, like normal X-Men, that's going strong. So far, we have X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, NYX, X Factor, and I think one of the solo series has started, but I don't remember which one. And I haven't read it either way. I think I'm just going to be sticking to the core books. I've read Uncanny and I've read X-Men. I'm caught up on those. I've started X Factor. I need to read NYX. I think that's going to be the 4 I will read. At least I'm going to try NYX. I'm going to see how it goes. X-Men, Jed McKay's X-Men has been fucking stellar. 2 issues so far. It's been a hell of a ride. It's been really good. Gail Simone's X-Men or Uncanny X-Men was also really fucking good. You haven't read that yet, right?
I have not.
Oh, okay. I will not spoil it for you.
I'm trying to figure out why, though.
It came out last week. I almost missed it as well. I read it like earlier this week. Yeah, check that out. It's really good. It's a very small team to start, but it's a very, I want to say small story, but it's really a story in 2 parts. X Factor, though, I've just read like maybe 7 or 8 pages so far, and it looks really interesting. So that's good.
I will guiltily but readily admit that I was a real big fan of X Factor in the 90s.
I don't know about X Factor in the 90s, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I was a big fan of X Factor in the 2000s. But that was X Factor led by Richter. Not Richter, sorry. Fucking. Oh my god, what's his name? Richter was on the team, but Jamie Madrox.
Maddox?
Yeah.
Havoc?
No, he wasn't on the team.
Isn't Havoc Jamie Maddox?
No.
Then it's his brother, right?
Havoc is Scott's brother. Jamie Madrox is the Multiple Man.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. Whatever.
Oh, you're saying Maddox?
Yeah.
Unless that's somebody else. No, Jamie Madrox is the Multiple Man. He's the guy that makes multiple men.
I mean, yeah. I could figure that out if I didn't know who it was. All right.
But that series spun out of the 198, 197. I think it was 198. Like after Decimation, when the Terrigen wave kind of No, it wasn't the Terrigen wave. Shit, no, it was Scarlet Witch. Like said, no more mutants, and most of the mutant population fell to pieces and lost their powers. Jamie Madrox is one of the few people that kept it. He started X Factor investigations to solve mysteries relating to mutants that no longer had their powers, and it was quite the interesting book. And he built a team of people that mostly were part of X Factor prior, like Ron and Guido, but also Richter, who was Avalanche, who did lose his powers. He joined up, as well as a few other people who I don't remember who else was there. But it was quite the interesting story.
That was loud.
That's my X Factor. What was...
Something went bzz, bzz.
I didn't hear that at all, but that was my phone.
It was super loud, man.
That's wild. Okay, it's on Do Not Disturb now. I don't know why I went into that X Factor. I think that was Peter David wrote that.
I know because you were explaining Jamie Madrox.
Yeah, I don't know why I bothered explaining the book.
Oh, why?
I think I was just rambling because I like that book. But yeah, like that's my X Factor. So I don't know about the '90s X Factor, but I wouldn't say it's a bad thing.
It was insane, and it was during the era of pouches. I think that just needs to be. I think that's says enough for itself.
Yeah,
it was a bit on the extreme side.
Yeah, this new X Factor is led by Warren Worthington, Angel.
Oh wow! Yeah,
and it's
Warren Warrington the third.
the third, yeah, and it's I want to say it's a government sanctioned mutant team, but it might just be like owned by a corporation because they're trying to make money off them. And Warren
That
is
sounds like Warren.
oh, he was hired. It wasn't his idea. He's just the star. He's the recognizable face of the team and the
That's
leader.
what I meant. Is it sounds like that? That sounds like something that would be right up his alley. I didn't think he. But
yeah. The rest of the team, I don't know if they're all new or if some of them pre-exist. I'm pretty not actually. Some of them definitely pre-existed because Fire Fist is there. I'm pretty sure he was there before. It's Fire Fist. He was also in Deadpool too. But there's a whole bunch of like mutants you probably never heard of, or they're like D tier mutants that people are either afraid of or just straight up don't like. And the whole point is to make this team recognizable and favorable in the eyes of the public.
Heard.
Yeah, and that's Warrington's job, is to lead the team and make them popular. So it's going to be interesting.
And that's a who now?
X
Or what's-
Factor.
That's X Factor.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I will add that to the list. It sounds rather interesting.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we had Transformers and Fantastic Four.
And it's just called X Factor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like all these X
It
books
started this year.
started this week.
Started this week. All right.
Uh,
Well, I'm
so
not
I-
gonna take up a bunch of time looking for it, but
I'll remind you after the show.
thank
Um,
you. Thank you. Need to add it to the list.
Right, so I do feel like all of these new X books in the From the Ashes era, we'll call it for now, is
Right.
very, very much like getting back to basics with X-Men. It's simpler teams, it's simpler costumes, it's OG titles.
It's people who've fucked up and changed in drastic ways, going back to their base personalities,
Yeah, it's
like
It-
Beast.
Beast. Yeah. I mean, that's complicated. From what I understand, that's a clone.
Whatever.
But yeah,
It's
it's
better than what was there. That's
a
all.
version
I'm
of
saying.
Hank that's not a complete dickhead.
Not a complete psychopath.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
back to
we're supposed
basics
to be
approach for the
afraid
X-Men.
of the AI for that, not the
Yeah.
blue guys.
Exactly. But yeah, it's a back to basics approach for the entire mutant population, realistically. But all the X books, the fact that we have NYX, X Factor, X-Men, and Uncanny X-Men are like the lead titles, I think is telling enough that they're not throwing in like new titles and new books. They have like a bunch of solo series, and then they have those four. And Excalibur, I think, is coming to Excalibur, and that's very classic X-Men. Realistically, all of those titles. So it's cool. I think if you're looking for a jumping on point for X-Men, any longtime X-Men reader is going to tell you the Krakoa era is one of the best things to ever happen in X-Men. I have not read it, but I keep hearing that. But if you're looking for a jumping on point and you don't want to read like 10 years worth of content, now's the perfect fucking time.
I mean, I'm trying it again, and Marvel's expanding universe and inability to tack on a million titles has kept me off of it for a while, but I am giving it a shot.
Well, I will tell you, as a person who, while I wasn't reading, the Krakoa era, I was keeping up with a few beat points here and there, and so far, completely unrelated. Like, you don't really need to know anything that happened in the Krakoa era to understand what's happening here, which I think is really well done. They acknowledge it, they know that it happened, and they mention it a couple of times, but it's not necessary reading.
Fair enough.
You can pick up the pieces as you go, so it's really well done.
Sweet.
And I will never stop recommending Fantastic Four. Ryan North, Fantastic Four. Please. Please. Daniel Warren Johnson, Transformers, please.
I've been reading a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh, I also caught up to Scarlet.
I'm homeschooling my kids, so my time is limited now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. After last year, it's just better. But,
Fair enough.
all right, my man.
Yeah.
I think we've been talking for a while.
Shit.
We should probably talk about some comics.
My bad.
Those comics are gonna be Batman and Robin 12, Outsiders 10, Absolute Power, Task Force 7, number 4, Action Comics number 1068, and Green Lantern 14. And here in just a second, I am going to talk about Primer, Clashing Colors number 2, DC versus Vampires, World War V number 1, Gotham Sirens number 2 from the DC Vault, Death in the Family, Robin Lives number 2, and Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age number 3. Whew, I tried to do that all in one breath. Did not work. Okay. Well, I'm gonna mark down the time for a commercial for our lovely Spotify listeners, and if you are so inclined, I am ready to continue. Or do you need a break for a second?
No, I'm good whenever. Shall we get going then?
All right, then I guess we shall. First up, Primer, Changing Colors number 2 of 3. It's a series written for the 8 and up crowd. It's done really well. My 8-year-old likes it. He's been reading it as part of his homeschooling. Good story, good art, and a good variety of characters. We see Deathstroke and Ravager showing up, so that's pretty cool. I give it an 8 out of 10. DC versus Vampires, World War V number 1. It's humans versus Queen Bab's vampires versus Damien's vampires. And let's just say it has a rather explosive ending that I did not see coming. It's an easy 7.75. Gotham City Sirens number 2. It's alright. Pretty decent art. A story to read if you're just looking to read a quick story. This book will do it for you. And in this particular issue, the biggest takeaway is that Perry is Harley's bodega guy. I gave it a 7 out of 10. From the DC Vault, Death in the Family, Robin Lives number 2. Jason's in therapy but can't really talk about what actually happened, saying it was thugs that beat him and not the Joker, who happened to break out of Arkham. And Batman's been pretty much pushed to the limit. Also, it's worth mentioning to a couple of my friends, one in particular here, Disco Wing. I give it an 8 out of 10. And then Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age, number 3. This issue, I feel like it amped up the woe. I continue here to sing its high praises. I think it is really good. It's a great story. The issue definitely did its job. I would highly recommend this run. 8.25 out of 10. And those are all the honorables worth mentioning.
Hell yeah. I have not read any of them yet.
I forgot to start that up. I'm going to show some of the covers here. Primer, Clashing Colors number 2. Obviously, well, you can read the titles that are on there, but these are all really good covers that I wanted to show. That one's my favorite. And that should tell you everything you need to know about the Gotham by Gaslight book.
Yeah.
It is a banger. Have you started reading it yet?
Not yet, no.
Oh man, it's issue 3, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna like this. I think you'll like this.
Do you need to have read the original Gotham by Gaslight? Because I did
Not,
like years ago. I just don't remember a damn thing about it.
not really. No.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is no. As a matter of fact, this is like completely. You'll be 100% fine.
Fair enough. All right, I'll give it a shot.
Good
Right.
deal, man.
With
So
that, let's do it.
let's
Batman and
do it.
Robin, numero 12. Bane. Oh, that's not a
Bane?
question. I thought his fist was like the gap in the question. That's an exclamation mark.
Oh my god! I just Seth Rogen laughed. Jesus Christ! I meant the. Yeah, that.
Yeah. All right, so this is To the Death, written by Joshua Williamson with art and colors from Juan Ferreira and letters from Steve Wands, with the cover you see before you from Simone DeMeo.
Gorgeous.
Very. But the only thing that's more gorgeous is the interior art from Juan Ferreira, because you get a few different styles here. You get different time periods, flashbacks to various points in Damien's history. You get before the City of Bane, you get R.I.P., you get Batman and Son. I believe there
Rebirth.
was one. Rebirth, that's it, thank you. When he
Yep.
when he creates his own Teen Titans team and becomes the leader. These flashbacks are all moments Damien spent with Alfred. Alfred being a father figure to a sort to Damien, and they're all in black, white, and red, and
Yeah,
they're fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, you know that gimmick just blooped all over everything after the very first time that it was done. But man, this just, I think, better than any other one that I have seen, looks just fucking perfect.
Yeah, like for a flashback, it's great. I don't know if I could read an entire book with just that.
Have you not read any of the black, white, and
I've
black,
read,
white, and red books?
But I like depends on the story. Like I don't
Fair
like
enough.
all the stories with them. And I'm talking about just these moments with Alfred and Damien. I don't know if I could read a whole book of just that with these just these colors. But as it is right now, it's like single page flashbacks, fucking fantastic. Excuse me. But the story as it goes is Damien has discovered Bane is on the island, and he's going headfirst into a tussle with Bane, sword drawn at the ready. Batman has been found by Vengeance, not just any Vengeance, Bane's daughter, Vengeance, who is almost beating the living shit out of him, but he's able to talk her down so they can actually just discuss things. And the whole reason they're there is because Cobra came to Bane with an opportunity to create a new type of venom using compounds they could find on Dinosaur Island, which is where they are. And this new venom formula will not be temporary, it will be permanent.
Yep. One-time application only.
That's it.
Get it while it's hot. Supplies are limited.
Exactly. You need a fucking sign that you can flip in the air. However, Cobra is not in the good graces with Bane. A lot of their tactics are kind of looked down upon by Bane and pissing him off, so he's decided to kind of strike their deal and take them out while he can. But it hasn't stopped them trying to make the formula. But while he was attacking a Cobra truck, Damien finds him, attacks him with a dinosaur, then attacks him with a sword. They have a great big fight. Damien takes a couple of fists right to the chest and somehow just walks it off. That's how pissed off he is. And they fight straight. I am the son of Batman.
Hear me roar.
Exactly. He gained his father's immortality.
Right. I am Robin God.
Exactly. So that fight heads out into a jungle where they tussle a bit more. Uh, Meanwhile, Batman and Vengeance are still discussing things, and Vengeance is about ready to strike at Batman while his back is turned. But then Maya shows up, electrocutes Vengeance, and they run after Robin, leaving her unconscious behind. Robin and Bane are still fighting, and just as Damian has the upper hand on Bane, gets Bane down to his knees, Damian is ready to execute the killing blow with the sword by chopping Bane's head off. And Bane, um, kind of somberly, um, says, "This is how it was always meant to be for me. My story was written by this. Um, give me
Live by the
peace."
sword, die by the sword, bitches.
Yeah, give me peace and let me die. But then Damien remembers through all these flashbacks and these memories and Bane's words there at the end, what Alfred had taught him over the years and how he is not this person anymore. So he gives Bane mercy, um, mercy he did not grant Pennyworth, as Damien says. And um, he decides to walk away and let him live, but not without a few choice words. Right before he's about to leave, he decides he's going to lock Bane up, bring him to justice. But Batman had seen all this and is proud of him. But that is when Vengeance appears behind them and shoots Damien with a dart. And this dart contained Venom serum, potentially the permanent Venom serum. We don't know. We just know it had a Venom serum in it. That's where the issue ends. The next issue is Vengeance of Damien. My one question is, why the fuck did Vengeance shoot Damien with a Venom dart? What was the purpose of that?
Poetic as Bane and Vengeance are, as characters, I would say that it was done to turn Robin, his son, into the same thing as his greatest adversary.
But it also gave Damien the ability to fight Bane toe to toe. Now he wants to just.
To my knowledge,
going to break Bane.
Here's the thing. To my knowledge, that super Venom, it was a one dose only.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a better Venom that has than has ever been created. Mm-hmm. And it gave you uncontrollable rage.
Yes.
So, to my knowledge, that's the only Venom that was on the island. That's what Damien got shot up.
Yeah. I mean, that could be red herring. That could just be I don't think it was ever explicitly said that's the only Venom that's here.
I assume
Bane and Vengeance have Venom on their system already. They have their whole setup where Venom is coursing through them. So I imagine Bane would have some backup at some point. We could definitely assume that the experimental Venom is the only Venom that's there, but it's not necessarily implied. It's not realistically said that that's the only Venom that's there. But the fact that it is in dark form tells me that it might be the one dose Venom. But it is, as you stated, giving him uncontrollable rage right away.
Yeah.
His first words are, "I'm not going to kill you, I'm going to break you." I'm stoked to see that. But yeah, so that I just there's, when I say what's the purpose, it's not that it didn't make 100% no sense. There were a few different reasons why Vengeance could have done that. I don't think any of them were a great idea from what I could think of.
I want to wrestle.
But like you said, it's turning Robin into one of Batman's most worthy adversaries.
Damien.
Yeah, turning Damien into one of Batman's most worthy adversaries. And excuse me, making him a little uncontrollable.
Thanks for correcting that, because Robin is Tim Drake.
I was curious what I said, why you were correcting me. He's got an R on his fucking chest. The book is called
a Robin. He's not Robin.
And Robin. It's not called
Robin.
Batman and a Robin. It's called Batman and Robin.
Hey, print is expensive.
Wow. There can be more than one Robin. There's more than one Flash.
There shouldn't be.
There's more than one Superman.
There shouldn't be.
There's more than one Batman.
There shouldn't be. There should be new names that aren't Clown Hunter. Don't let fucking Tynan come up with them. Ghostmaker.
So what's
all up with him?
Wally
he kills
West,
people.
Yeah, he makes ghosts.
No, Barry needs to move on and become something else.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen though.
I've never understood why they don't have a speedster named Velocity.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't remember that. Anyway.
Could have sworn though. It was like a low key one. I could have sworn there was one.
That would surprise me, because I've wondered that for a long time.
Yeah. They could have a Strength Force user called Mass.
I remember Mass.
Yeah. No, they're... Huh? Who's Mass?
Your Mass. Your big old Mass.
Wow, that's rude. I was gonna make a formula joke. They could team up and be Mass times. They could be Velocity. Like, whatever. I don't even remember the fucking equation anymore. No, velocity is mass times acceleration. Isn't it?
Yes, so we need... Yeah.
Yeah, so you need a speedster called acceleration and a strength force user named Mass, and together they are velocity.
I'll take it.
Hold the phone. Hold the fucking phone. That's Jay and Irie.
No, that's... not Ironheart. What does she call herself? Thunderheart.
Thunderheart, yes, but
and
Ivory
Stripe?
is a Speed Force. I don't remember his hero name now.
Surge.
But Ivory is a speedster. Jay has super strength
force.
Yeah,
and more.
And together they are a team. They work together. They should be called as a team. They should be called Velocity because it's mass times acceleration.
I agree, and you need to get that into DC. I would set it up initially. You can increase rate as it goes on, but I would initially tweet it to them once an hour.
I ain't got time for that.
Anyway, ain't got no time for that.
Enough for things that don't exist. As for this issue,
fair enough,
of Batman and Robin.
Hey, Robin.
The Robin.
The Robin.
The Robin.
The Robin.
The Robin.
Rob,
I swear, like once a month we need
talk
to
to
have
the face.
This argument. Tim should move on.
No, you shush.
Tim should become the Grey Ghost.
No, that's Robin. I'm not talking to you anymore. You can talk to the face.
Okay. Hi, Josh.
Hello.
Wow. Well, that was weird. Okay, so the art, really good. The story, quite interesting. Last issue was selling me on this arc as well, and this issue was doing the same. The story is very well done so far. My whole bag, as we all know, if you remember, I've always said the biggest problem Joshua Williamson has with stories is endings. So we'll see by the end. Recently, he's been hit or miss on endings. Endings haven't all been bad. Some of them have been quite good. Some of them have also been bad. Some of them have been quite good. I think this one might end well. But we'll see. Either way, the story is good. The art is really good. I am giving this issue, and I've been kind of debating on a score, because as much as I enjoy the art, there's certain panels where it just feels like the quality changes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also Juan Ferreira.
Right.
Right? It's kind of weird. Like the face is just like he's got certain facial expressions down and others he doesn't. And it just changes the character completely.
I feel like those ones where he doesn't are over exaggerated.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He can do a still face very well, but an angry face, they're all the same.
Arrgh.
Yeah, it's that wide
I look like
teeth,
a caveman like that.
anger face. Like they all do that. There's no just like you can tell anger and it's subtle. This is like okay, yeah, you're growling at me, and they all fucking do that. I don't know why. It's interesting, but yeah, it. So I think I will give it an 8.25. 8.25.
Okay, I believe you. Okay, look. First, just before City of Bane, Rebirth, R.I.P., Batman and Son, all excellent moments to pull panels from for flashbacks for Damian. And some, if not all, I think, I could be completely wrong here, but I think they were actual copies of panels, or at least very heavily inspired by panels that happened during that time.
Could have been.
This issue was good. It took place. It took it to a place where Damian has shown who he has finally become, Batman Jr. The opportunity to kill, get vengeance in the palm of your hand, and choose mercy instead. Which I mean, cool and all, but I mean, he's been recently depicted as being nearly as good a detective as his father, just as skilled as fighting as his father. He conquers the same moral dilemmas as his father, the ability to choose right at the last second as his father. Alfred is the most important person in his life, like his father. He's been turned into a mini Bruce, and I kind of wanted more than that for him. But as far as this issue goes, this is not the more that I wanted. I was into reading this entire thing, drawn in by the new art in last month's issue as well. Then we get the Damian moving from being Batman Jr. to Bane Bin. I thought that would get a giggle out of you. And completely ruined the momentum that I had in the story. I was not expecting that, and it makes me worry about how this arc is going to close up. I don't know. It wasn't until the end that I didn't like it, and ultimately not bad. The art is really freaking good. I guess I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Fair enough.
Is it though?
I think so.
Does it matter?
In the end, no.
In the end, no.
I don't know. Like it's a nice day. Let's go outside.
Everything. It's a nice. Yeah, touch some grass. All right. Let's go outside with The Outsiders, written by Jackson Lanning and Colin Kelly. Art from Robert Carey with colors from Valentina Tadeo. Tom Napolitano on letters, and let's call it an earth-shattering cover.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-tis.
Yeah.
By Roger Cruz and Adriano Lucas. Okay, so this is an issue that it's issue number 10, and it ties in basically up in a nice little bow the previous 9 issues. And it's a little dense, so I'm going to try and explain it to people who may have been having a rough time. So it starts out with a big old caption that reads, DC Comics presents an Outsiders event. So that was different, and it definitely worked to make me go, gotta read this. And I was already on board. And the title of the issue is Execution, or Nice Universe. Sure would be a shame if something happened to it. The first line of dialogue delivered by Batwoman. It's we've got a crisis. So I think they're really trying to sell the whole crisis thing here. Now
Yeah.
let me get exactly what the gigantic cannon is out of the way first. While anchored to the earth, the cannon in the lost city of Cannon had the capability to destroy fundamental concepts within the universe. Combined with Jenny's gun, it's ridiculously powerful and accurate. Instead, however, it's coupled with Carrier, the outsider's ship, and AI, and that makes it able to aim, at least. Real brief catch up, and then I'll get into the book. Kate has the planetary book. Drummer has Ginny Hex's gun, and the cannon. It was integrated into Carrier last issue. And Carrier, as a conscious AI, has made friends with Drummer, Kate, and everybody else. Okay, now for the issue. Luke and Kate are on their way after Drummer, and though Drummer had have others, Carrier decided that they were going to choose both sides of the coin. Help Drummer do what she wanted,
Yes, Carrier is
and
playing both sides, so that they always come out on top.
I mean, Carrier's doing it, attempting to appease both sides because she cares for both groups of people. Well,
Yeah.
Drummer and everybody else.
Yeah, whatever helps. us
Um,
with it.
So, by Kate's request, she also invites Ginny Hex. Ginny Hex and Jenny Crisis to Drummer turning on the cannon. See, Drummer wants to fire the cannon. It's going to return her and Carrier to their universe at the cost of destroying literally everything else in the Omniverse. The only thing that she was missing was an incredibly powerful bullet. A bullet that was already destined to end the world. So remember that baby? Its name was The End. Nocturna's kid, but not a vampire, a human.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be destined to kill everything in the universe. He's the bullet.
If that's
that-
not grim,
That's back in Outsiders number 5. Carrier moves to stop Drummer taking shape of a big monster, but Drummer's able to take it down. Kate calls out to Drummer, and that's when we find out that her identity is actually Jaquita, for people who didn't know that. Some of us already knew that, but for those who didn't, Jaquita was second in command in Planetary under Elijah Snow, who I believe she had a very long romantic relationship with, until they defeated their enemies and he retired. She led the team after that for a long-ass time. Elijah Snow is known as the fourth man from Planetary, and he's one of the Century babies. He's immortal, has cryokinesis. He's a genius. He actually studied how to be a detective underneath Sherlock Holmes. Anyway, education.
flexing much.
It's down to Batwing and Batwoman to take on Jaquita, and all of a sudden there's a massive explosion. It could be the gun being fired. It could be something else, but it's definitely huge, and it prompts Carrier to say she realizes she couldn't play both sides after all, and trying to remind Kate that it's never too late to be a hero. It's never too late to fix things. As she seemingly disappears.
It's not too late.
So, whoa, and holy shit. I can only imagine what Brandon would be saying right now, and any other fans of Planetary. This has been a hell of a slow build, it feels like. The big negative I'd say overall is how hard it might be for people to pick up on what's happening in here without either having done research or being familiar with Planetary. I think this was done excellently. Other than that, it's really, really good. It's explosive in all of the right ways. And again, I feel like this story is absolutely epic in the best possible way. I love this. I loved it. This issue in particular. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I was doing my best to follow. I think I did a good job. It's Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Autobots roll out.
Transform. Roll out. Yeah. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, no, this issue was
brought to you by the letter P
for Paka
and the number 4.
For the fork.
I don't know. What do you think about Outsiders?
It's hard. Like I'm struggling to find words to describe things, which is how I've been feeling the entire run. I don't dislike it. I like it a lot. I just don't know what the fuck is going on because I don't know much about Planetary.
All these concepts that are being pulled together in there, and there's no context for people who haven't gotten into that before, and that's the downside for this series. But I am just rating the issue. Although if I had to do the whole series, I would definitely score it down for how difficult it is for new readers to get into it. Pick it up.
Like I'm following the story of the Outsiders pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
It's just there's so much going on that is clearly related to Planetary that if you never read
the
Planetary,
whole thing,
you're going to feel lost. Which I do. Which I think kind of sucks. But
I hope a little bit of what I explained. So basically, what's going on
what you explained was the stuff that happened in the series.
Basically, what's going on is Chiquita, who is drummer, and Carrier, the AI, are from a universe that Planetary actually existed.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that I get.
In this universe, it did not. Okay.
Yeah.
She lost everyone, including Elijah Snow, who meant more to her than anything else in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So Drummer was going to fire that cannon with that baby bullet, and its purpose was to send them back to their universe, and the only cost of it was destroying everything else in the Omniverse.
Yeah.
And that's what the Outsiders are trying to stop.
Okay.
So she's trying to get back to her buddies.
She's trying to destroy the Omniverse so she can return to her world.
Right.
Because
it'll be the only thing that's left.
And she knows this. Why?
Science.
Okay.
It's dude, like, you laugh or whatever, but if you knew anything about baby bullet science, you would know that this is just like 101 shit.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it. Fuck am I doing wrong here?
I don't know, man. I think what you're starting out with is you didn't give a score, man.
I didn't. You're right. But, okay, so from what I understand about the issue, and from what you explained, it's interesting. It's clearly coming to an end. I feel like I was kind of surprised when you said it's a dense issue, because I read and I felt like there wasn't much story here because it was very quick. The heroes show up, they try to stop the villain, and the villain succeeds anyway. That's like the bulk of it. And I thought, okay, this was a very simple issue.
Well, I think Outsiders is only going to 11.
Yeah, like this is the
penultimate issue.
This was the setup for the end.
Oh, I should have read it slower.
Yeah, good thing you can reread it.
It's not the same.
I get that. I 100% get that.
All right. It's like, I wish I had that absolute power to travel back into time and reread it all over again, but alas, I do not.
Yeah. I see what you're doing there, but I haven't given my score yet, so patience.
Patience. I have no patience for non-patience.
I know. So let me at least give the score. That's another one I think is really hard to score for me because I'm trying to piece it all together. But
Like Optimus Prime?
No, this is Starscream, man.
Like Starscream?
Yeah. But from what I read, I can give it 8.5.
8.5?
Yes.
Very good. I think you score it higher than you. I think you score it out of appreciation for what could potentially be a good story. If only you knew what was going on.
Basically, I'm scoring it on basics alone. Like, it was pretty to look at, and the story was exciting. I'm
Good
fucking
deal.
lost, but
That's
it was
what
fun.
everybody's talking about and what getting to. But I mean, at the root of it, it is a pretty good action series.
Yeah. It's been a fun ride. I'll give it that. It's been a very fun ride.
Agreed.
All right, and yeah, so if you have the absolute power to whatever it was you said, back to the segue. This is Task Force 7, number 4, The Fury of Failsafe, aka Just Win. This is, and pardon me, grand apologies if I butcher your name here, but I'm just pronouncing it how I read it. Pornsak Pishishote
Pinchote.
is the writer.
Pinchote, but yes.
There's no N in that word. That's
Pinchote. Brandon told us how to say it before.
Pishote?
Like no N.
I never said that.
No, yeah.
I said Pishishote. You said Pinhishote.
No, I'm not saying shisho. Is there a shisho? That's what I'm.
Yeah, it's Pichetetshote.
Okay, well then I completely forgot it. I was completely off. I did not know that there was
that's what I mean.
shishas.
Like I could be very fucking wrong here.
I definitely was.
But yeah, Pornsak Pishishote is how I'm reading it. They wrote it. Art from Claire Rowe, colors from Lee Loffridge, and letters from Dave Sharp, with the cover before you from Pete Woods. So this one is heavily about failsafe, as well as a small team of rebels, realistically, in Gotham City, more specifically underground in the Maze of Owls.
Nightwing, Rob Irk, who all was it? Nightwing, Robin, Tim Drake. Got me. Voodoo from Wildcats, but she lost her psychic powers. The Ray, but he lost his light powers. Ms. Martian, who's a white Martian, and that's cool, but not used to control her body, so she's all willy wonky with it. Yeah, and they're using prototype tech stolen from Halo. So fun.
All right, so there's 3 sentences from my thank you, Josh.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I just think that's a really cool resistance team to put together.
It is.
It would be really intimidating if they had their powers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Except they're going up against failsafe.
Yeah.
McGann does not have any Martian abilities. Can't even read minds. And she's struggling to understand and control her own physiological strength compared to like using weapons,
which is something I never would have considered.
Yeah. I imagine the gravity on Mars might be a little different from Earth. Also, Martian physiology is going to be very different. Like, it's an interesting idea. The Ray hates guns, does not want to use them. And
almost a complete pacifist if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And Voodoo, who was running recon, is actually being chased by Failsafe in the maze,
Oh
and
no!
was caught by Failsafe in front of the giant owl statue, um,
Ooh,
right in the middle of the maze. Woo, woo, woo.
damn it!
Yeah, I've watched enough New Day stuff to know when some of these people are woo, woo, woo,
Ooh.
woo. All right, so Nightwing. Um, this team was brought together by Tim Drake, and Nightwing found them and decided to help out. They're, as Josh said, building as much force as they can with all the secret weapons they can find. But as they're getting things together, they do hear a proximity alarm, which went off a little late, and they arrive to find Voodoo being attacked by Failsafe. She is unfortunately now unconscious, but using all the weapons, weapons and bombs they have, they take on Failsafe dead on, get the drop on him, and actually like blow him up a little bit. But then he reveals his ability to regenerate, which seems to be the same energy signature we saw in Absolute Power #2.
Why do killer robots get free healthcare?
You need to watch Dragon Ball. This is not an original idea.
Fair enough.
That caught you off guard, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit.
So while that's going on over at Gamora Island, Steve Trevor is still undercover and making his way through the compound. He was called over to help stop a potential breakout or riot, but it was just some asshole guard wanting to cut up the elongated man. What a fucking dick. Jackass. So then Steve goes back to the area he was trying to locate and finds a lot of villains, including, I would name them all, but there's honestly so many here, building some kind of gateway or portal device, if you will. He has no clue what it is, but there's something going on there. Cutting back to the Court of Owls, or not the Court of the Maze of Owls.
Hey, can I interrupt you one more time?
Yeah.
The fucking I thought it was funny, like everyone's caption shows in the book, like if they've got a speaking part, like Steve undercover, Savannah evil genius,
Yeah.
But then multiplex just gets enemy of Firestorm. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. He's not worth the time.
No, he fought Firestorm once.
Yeah.
Or several times. But.
Like, I don't even remember the last time he did fight Firestorm. He's fought other people since then.
Fucking. That's funny as shit.
Yeah. All right, so back at the Maze of Owls, Failsafe is, of course, getting the upper hand. Even so much as breaking McGann's arm, which enrages Nightwing. And while Failsafe deflects one of Nightwing's Eskrima sticks, shattering the light above them, they are now shrouded in darkness, lit only by the electricity off of Dick's Eskrima sticks. Failsafe is still getting the upper hand, but then McGann kind of football tackles him to the ground and tells Nightwing to take the others and go. And because of Robin's bag of experimental Semtex and dynamite, the ground below them blows up. The statue falls on them, shatters to pieces, and a hole opens up in the ground, which allows our heroes to escape in a river underground beneath the Maze of Owls. So they escape. Failsafe gets McGann and takes her back to Gamora Island. And Nightwing vows that if McGann is not okay, God help me, and I quote, "I'll storm Waller's prison myself and feel sorry for anyone trying to stop me from tearing that damn robot apart limb from limb." which
Yay.
on here you go. A race to death with velocity is next. So there you go. There's your speedster called Velocity. It's the fucking Amazo speedster. There's Velocity.
Wow. Well, isn't that a son of a bitch?
Yep.
Ask and ye shall receive, the comic gods say.
So that last line from Dick sounds badass on the surface, but then you look a little closer, and throughout the issue, Failsafe is going on about how Nightwing cares too much, and that's his weakness. He cares about the people here, and if you exploit that weakness, you will get the upper hand. He's too nice. And then here he says, I will feel sorry for anyone trying to stop me. Why are you going to feel sorry for it? Like it's exactly what Failsafe is talking about. You're doing the damage. I understand feeling bad about it, but
sorry.
God damn.
Sorry.
That's exactly why he's winning. I get it though.
This
Like,
is, it's kind
Failsafe
of
is
time
correct.
to fuck him up. Need to fuck him up.
Yeah. By the way, sorry.
Sorry.
So the art was quite good. Story was very simple. Honestly, it felt like there wasn't really a need for this because it was just another issue to show off Failsafe. Task Force 7 is going through the Justice League of Amazos. Eventually, they're going to have to talk about the Batman of Amazos, which is Failsafe. But this is nothing new from anything we'd already seen in Chip Zdarsky's Batman. Right? It's Failsafe wrecking shit because he's Batman and he understands the heroes.
Yep. And they called in Jace.
Wait, they what?
They called in Jace.
When did they call in Jace?
I don't remember, but I remember.
What? Jace wasn't in this.
No, not in it, but in the dialogue, I believe that they said that he got called in. Or they were calling him. Oh, this is so damn dialogue heavy.
Yeah. I don't remember that at all, but I guess they could. But the point, like, either way, he didn't show up in this issue.
Yeah, either way.
Either way, yeah. So it was an interesting issue. It just doesn't feel like there was really a need for it as a tie-in issue. Like, the other purpose is, like, they're tying into the overall story, and they're tying into the side books, and they're exploring the enemies that the heroes have to face. But we've already seen this enemy. We already get this enemy, and there was nothing new about this character here that we didn't already see in Chip Zdarsky's Batman, where he was introduced. He shows up, wrecks shit, refuses to elaborate further, dips. That's Failsafe. So I'll it's an enjoyable story for the heroes, and you get to see some characters you haven't seen in a long time, like the Ray and Miss Martian. So I'll give it that. And the art is quite nice. So I will give it a 7. I'll be nice about it. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I will
I'll be
tell
nice
you,
like Nightwing.
I will read my notes straight off the paper. First, I want to say, doesn't it look like Amanda Waller is building a Stargate?
Yeah, it really does.
It's weird how Failsafe has none of Batman's compassion, but does have his admirations, like how he compliments Miss Martian and how she did fighting him.
Yeah.
That was odd. Now Nightwing is mad. That's what I got from the last page, but I think it's supposed to be a depiction of him being pushed to his limit, and I didn't get that feeling. The art looks great. The story's alright. I'll admit the idea of what they're doing here is pretty cool. There's just something about the way that it's being delivered that feels a little thin or flimsy. I'm not really feeling it, but I'm not really feeling great, excuse me, but I am trying to be in a good mood. So I'll give it a 7 because it looked good and had plenty of action.
Hell yeah. I see what you did there. And since he already set it up, let's go into our next book.
Let's go ahead and do that then, shall we?
Yeah. Action Comics.
That's what they call me.
And action.
You want to tell us about that, Rob?
No, I just told you about a book.
All right, fine. I'll do it. Written by Gail Simone, pencils from Eddie Barrows, inks by Danny Minky, colors from Rex Locus. I think I had Rob nervous for a second. Letters by Dave Sharp with the cover from.
I was just fucking ready to jump in if you hadn't written anything down.
And then, well, see how good of a teammate that man is. Ready with a cover from Eddie Barrows, Danny Miki, and Tomu More for the colors on that one.
Keep going, I'll be right back.
Okay. Picking up from last issue, aliens are attacking Metropolis. They're dangling a giant U.S. warship over Metropolis. And Superman has to choose between saving Metropolis or the lives of Jimmy and Lois. He quickly sciences it and is able to set the ship down on the bay, flipping it up slow enough but steady enough using science is the easiest way to put that, to set it down in the bay safely. That means he's passed the first challenge from the aliens. The next challenge is of intellect. Meanwhile, Lois and Jimmy transport to the alien ship, or more specifically the sports bar inside of it, where they will be executed if they leave and do what they do and be reporters. The second challenge is the bottled city of Kandor. It's surrounded by a total of 12 deadly robot arms. I mean, these guys are going all out. I forget what they're called though. Something that starts with a G. I am gonna look real quick because I am now super curious.
And
I don't see it real quick, so I'm not sure. But anyway, they're kind of dicks.
What aren't you sure about?
The race of the aliens.
Oh yeah, it's. I don't know if it.
It starts with a G.
It was specifically stated in this one.
Oh well, okay then. In any case, the second challenge is the bottled city of Kandor. It's surrounded by 12 deadly robot arms, each with a supercomputer of its own, all armed with various weapons, including the traditional gigantic buzzsaw. These arms are then guarded by battle androids with red sun energy batons. Superman must figure out how to save Kandor. But it's not just Kandor. He has to save Kandor in order to save where their cannons are pointed at 2 Earth cities as well, with a total of not 30,000 people like would be in Kandor, but a total of 15 million people are now in danger. Once he starts, he'll have 3 seconds to complete the challenge. Well, using his cape, he blows by the whole challenge basically with super speed and destroys everything to win the second challenge and, save all those people too. Superman is being cheered for, more to the chagrin of Lord Grunar, head alien in charge. See, there's people betting on whether or not he can do these challenges. Superman is pretty beat up though, and in the last panel we find out what the third challenge is, and that looks to be fighting a Daxamite.
Yeah.
You know, I like the art, I like the design throughout. I kind of just enjoyed the whole thing. It's unimportant, it's unconnected, but it is so enjoyable. I will give this a very deserving 8.5 out of 10.
Did you talk about the backup?
No, I did not.
Well, I could talk about the main story. There's not really much more to say about it apart from what you said. There's not much to say about it at all. It's really fucking good. There are a couple of picky things for me here and there that I honestly can just, I don't even remember what they are now. I can just get over them really quickly. I say that because I don't even fucking remember what they are. It was just certain things in the dialogue. I'm just like, yeah, this feels weird. It doesn't sound right, but it's such a minor point. The rest of the story is really good and really well done. And this, like, putting it as a story in Superman's past is very interesting. It's really, really cool idea. But I will give my score after we do the backup.
All right, I'm looking for the creative team because I forgot to write that down. Oh, there it is. Written by Rainbow Rowell, art from Cian Torme, colorist Romulo Friardo Jr., letterer Dave Sharp. It's Lois and Clark in Love at Work Part 2. This is basically, in just real quick, Lois is being the kind of editor that a trusted news person should be, completely removing Clark from Metro coverage. He's no longer, basically no longer what a reporter would call a real reporter. And still out there doing Superman shit and listening to his wife. That was pretty much the backup. I like seeing Lois like that. She's completely HBIC. She's going with her gut. Granted, that pep talk that Clark gave her in the last issue kind of backfired on him. He has to respect the reason why she's doing what she's doing to him.
Now, here's my thing. I don't know what the reason is. At least I didn't see or understand what the reason is why she took him at least off. I understand taking him off the Atomic Skull story.
Taking him off of anything that could potentially be a Superman story, which means removing him completely from the Metro or main headlines. So he covers girls and now he covers little girls hopping on pogo sticks trying to break records and shit. 'Tis the price one pays to be Superman.
Is apparently still just getting like rave reviews about his rating.
Yes.
Yeah, like the whole thing kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I get like the whole personal side of it and having the objectionable point of view, but at the same time, the whole reason he became the Metro reporter was so he could be where the action is, and if people needed saving, he could jump in at a moment's notice. He knew where to go and when.
But realistically, I mean, it's going to be what, like a second difference? He's got to do what he's got to do, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
but
he faces the wrath of his true secret fucking weakness, and that's Lois Lane.
As every husband knows, the weakness is the wife.
Indeedly do.
Yes. That.
Say yes.
Don't take that out of context, folks. That came out. This is a husband thing too. That came out wrong. A wife is not a weakness, but a husband's weakness is his wife. If that makes sense.
'Tis the only person that we will instinctively bend our knee for.
Exactly.
Is what he means to say.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Josh. You are putting the right words in my mouth because I cannot fucking articulate what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to say.
'Tis all right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. It's only a flesh wound.
Fucking
Everything will be okay.
So the backup, I understand both points of view. It's hit or miss. Excuse me. I do think that when we get to the third part, Clark is going to find a brighter side to being the beat reporter.
I would agree.
Yeah,
I find it
I think he's gonna
interesting
find
that
something there.
I forgot to mention this, and I'm sorry I keep interrupting you, but
I don't forgive you.
damn it.
Why'd you interrupt me?
I find it funny that when Clark gets demoted to covering fluff pieces, Jimmy gets demoted right along with him.
I mean, yes and no, because he also got called to take photos of the Atomic Skull breaking out of prison. I think he just goes where the story is, takes photos of anything. He's like the lead photographer.
Jimmy is the unknown member of the Speed Force.
Yeah, really. I did like that Jimmy kept asking him what Clark did to piss Lois off.
Right, and ending it with, did you accidentally call her Lana?
That was great. That
was really good.
I'll give this issue a 9, a nice round 9.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
Really good. The main story is really good. The backup is quite good. I'm very curious to see how it's gonna end.
It'll be interesting.
Yep. And with that, we're going to shine a light on our last issue for the week.
We are.
Green Lantern number 13.
Green Lantern.
14. Green Lantern number 614.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Yes, Green Lantern number 14. This is written by Jeremy Adams with pencils from Fernando Pazarin, inks from Claire Alberts, colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters from Dave Sharp, with a really cool cover in front of you from Ariel Colon.
And cool cover it is.
Hell yeah. Honestly, looks like he's flying the Batwing.
Yeah, of a sort, yes.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
Green
I wonder if he will.
Yeah.
Would that have been a goal of his? Actually, that is the Batwing, because right underneath the Green Lantern symbol, that's the Bat symbol. I just caught that.
Oh my.
So every Green Lantern's goal is to steal something from Batman.
Excuse me while I channel my inner George Takei, apparently.
Yeah, that just came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Sure, I guess so.
Oh my. All right, so picking up pretty much exactly where we left off last issue. Hal has eyes on his ring, and it is kept in a box by some guards on Gamora Island. He, using his new toys, his new weapons that he has gathered from a storage locker on Gamora Island in the compound, various weapons from various enemies. Starting off with, I want to say this is from the Trickster.
The top?
The top. I keep wanting to say it's from
it's
the top.
Toyman.
It's Toyman. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he does say Toyman. I keep confusing. I keep thinking it's from the Trickster, but it is Toyman. Yeah. An exploding spinning top. Or at least it's a light grenade of some kind. Blinds the guys and knocks them out.
Flashbang.
He gets his ring back, and as he goes to put it on and turn a corner, he runs into a whole bunch of other guards. Very Han Solo-like.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, Alan Scott is in a cell with Jade Stone, is the new name of the Green Lantern style Amazo.
Can I just say something?
Yes, you can interrupt me again.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Isn't it weird that Alan Scott named the Amazo after his kids?
A little.
I read that and I call him Jadestone. Jadestone? Like Jade and Obsidian? What? That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, he might also feel a kinship with this Amazo because this Amazo is learning from Alan. So he's also teaching and learning from this Amazo as well. So maybe
So
it
technically,
could be
it's
like a kid to him. Right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So
That
maybe
makes sense.
Yeah.
That tracks. It still
Yeah.
doesn't take away the funny moment, but
It doesn't, yeah. And not only are they together in the cell, but they're playing chess, and rather friendly game at that. But then an alarm goes off, and Jadestone has to go off and figure out what's going on. There's an intruder in loading bay 4, he says, so we've got to go take care of that. Excuse me. However, it's a rather pleasant goodbye, and he will return. So that's it for Alan for now. He's just happy in jail. Hal, however, is running for his life from bullets, and finds the closest weapons he can find, and it is none other than Condiment King's guns. So he makes the best of it. As he says, the Jordan luck strikes again. Mr. Jeremy Adams, did you by any chance take that from Spider-Man? Because sounds a lot like it. But yeah, he's not got great luck either. Josh, where'd you go? It'll let me know. God. Yeah, he gets Condiment King's guns and starts squirting ketchup and mustard all over the guys, even getting spicy mustard in one of their eyes.
That's filthy.
It was funny. But then he gets tackled down, finds Blue Devil's trident, hands it to somebody, then activates it, rocketing the guy away. Gets some javelins, but then he's found by Jadestone.
Javelins.
Is almost basically captured right away. At least he's stopped by Jadestone from attacking, and Jadestone tells him, by order of Amanda Waller, you're under arrest. We then cut to Carol Ferris, who's with the JSA in the Tower of Fate, just coming to terms with the fact that she's with all these legendary heroes in hiding. And they all agree that they need to run a little bit of recon and try to find anybody else they can and bring them here. And they figure
we about to lose.
Exactly. They can't go out there at all because they will be spotted on the spot. But there is one person who is an unknown and someone with power that nobody knows has that power. And then they look at Carol Ferris, so she's going out into the world to find other heroes. Grand Premier Theros, or Lord Premier Theros on Oa, is just talking up his achievements, while the rest of his council, even though they are all his kinship, seem to not necessarily agree with what he's got planned and what's going on next. That what he seemingly is in for is not what they are all there for. So potentially,
they want to bring order. He wants to rule with an iron fist.
Exactly. So there's potentially mutiny going to happen there. Back to Hal Jordan. He's still trying to get away from Jadestone, but it's just straight up not working until he finds a wand. He uses it and figures it might belong to none other than Abracadabra. And as he says Abracadabra, he gets the drop on Jadestone and he gets teleported far, far away, along with a lot of the crates that were around him, leaving basically a giant hole in the ground. And this drops him straight to Themyscira at the Superhero Resistance HQ, where he finds Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, along with all of the weapons and supplies that he took with him. So he landed in the perfect spot unknowingly. Now in Hub City, Carol has been teleported to the city, and she's just got to blend in and find heroes. Meanwhile, her once fiance, who I fucking don't remember his name now, but he is going to be called Sorrow, or Grey Lantern, is ready to find her.
Let's just say his secret identity is Chad.
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 That might actually be his name. I don't fucking remember his name.
I think it starts with a CH.
It could be.
Chad is close enough.
Yeah. But yeah, now he's flying out into the sky and he's going to find Carol. So her undercover side is going to fall apart really quickly. Brief backup called The Shadow Lanterns. This is written by Mark Guggenheim with art from Derek Robertson, colors from Diego Rodriguez, and letters from Dave Sharp.
Call him what you want to call him.
I don't know. He's not. This one's not so bad, so I won't call him Uncle Guggy. It's only Uncle Guggy when the story sucks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My bad. All right. Okay. Was not aware of the Uncle Guggy etiquette. Wow, that was really hard. Say that shit 5 times fast. Uncle Guggy etiquette.
Uncle Guggy. All right, so this follows a lantern by the name of Shint Deproba. If you're gonna put an apostrophe between 2 letters, make sure those 2 letters can go together. That'd be fucking great. But he's an alien nonetheless. He is from the Green Lantern Corps under the control of the United Planets, so he is a recent Lantern. And he was brought into the Corps, as many of them were, kind of unexpectedly, as he monologues. The ring seeks out someone noble, someone brave, someone worthy, but he's none of those things. Yet, after he discovers the truth about that Lord Premier Theros is really just looking for cannon fodder, he does his best to prove himself worthy of the ring, and at the same time maybe prove to his other lanterns that this is not what they think it is. But nobody believes him, and everyone else is being brainwashed by what Theros wants. So, to prove himself, he and another bunch of lanterns are going on a rescue mission to save a ship and take down a pirate ship. But he, in the end, to prove his worth as a lantern, sacrifices himself to stop the ship, saving his comrades and the people it was attacking, blowing up the pirate ship and himself in the process, as his ring then goes off to find someone worthy. It was a nice little story, nice little one-off, and these are exactly the kind of stories you would need in a Green Lantern backup. Is let's explore
these little one-off tales.
The Green Lantern Corps, like that's
right.
The older Green Lantern stories from the 90s and before were full of, maybe not so much in the 60s and 70s, but otherwise 80s and 90s were full of stories about other lanterns of different species. It expanded the universe. It told stories of the Green Lantern from Sector 3256. Right?
And there's no reason they can't do that again.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular or amazing, just a quick little 10-page thing and talk about other alien races. Because that's what Green Lantern is. It's fucking massive. And that's what I like. I see people complain online all the time about how there's too many Earth Lanterns. I don't think that would be much of a problem if they explored maybe some of the alien lanterns too. So you give us more of these, people won't complain about the Earth Lantern so much. That's what I think.
Don't forget to tell them that Earth is a core planet, so it's kind of important. It needs to be there.
Yes, thank you, Jeremy Adams, for giving reason to the rhyme. Right, so the back was quite nice. It was an interesting little tale about a lantern that just tried to do his best. Godspeed. The main story was very entertaining, very interesting. All the characters involved, except for Theros, had funny little moments. Theros just, again, showing out how much of a prick he is. Carol had some funny moments. Alan had some funny moments. Hal had some funny moments, but they all had adventure at the same time. So it's all to love. And I also love that Alan Scott is a part of it. It's called Green Lantern, but Hal is not the only Green Lantern in the book as a focus.
Right.
Right? That's what I've been asking for, and that's what I love. It may have been about Hal for the most part, but now Alan is here too, and it looks like he's going to be sticking around for a bit.
He's part of the story. There's no reason for him not to.
Exactly. Just because it's called Green Lantern does not mean it needs to focus on one Green Lantern.
Yep.
So again, thank you, Jeremy Adams, for running with that. It's a fucking wonderful idea. Yeah, it's really Hal escaping prison, and it was a fun little jaunt. I'm looking forward to see where he goes next. It looks like he might be flying the Batwing, which is cool. Because while he does have his ring, he doesn't have his battery, and he has no way to charge it because his battery is still locked up. So, unless he can somehow get to wherever it was, he's on Earth.
He needs to get to under.
Wherever that cave was that has the giant fucking battery. Which that might be where he's headed next. But we'll see in issue 15 next month. But for this issue, I will give it art fantastic, story fantastic, backup fantastic. It's going to get a 9.25.
Yeah, hell yeah. Main story, there's not a lot more I can say about all of it. The main story, the art is great. Phantom Lantern dude looks at the end there, he looks messed up. That those gray tears coming down his face are creepy as hell, but I am digging it. Story is great again, and I continue to really like it. It's pretty awesome. I gave the main story an 8.5. Second, the backup story got the exact same thing. Cool little story, shows that some of the Green Lanterns that went UP still at their core were real Green Lanterns, and I am down with that. And the art, which was also pretty enjoyable there too. 8.5 for both of them, 8.5 for the whole issue.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And that is our books. So with that, let's get to our top 3 and favorite moments.
Top 3 and favorite moment?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be. My top 3 go like this. In third place, Action Comics. In second place, Green Lantern. And in first place, Outsiders. And my favorite moment was in Green Lantern. It was Hal. Shortly, right after the beginning of the book, basically. Is that Kite Man's kite? Oh, hell no. That made me laugh.
Yeah, that's pretty good. For me, number 3, I'm going to have Batman and Robin. It did score a little lower than Outsiders, but Batman and Robin I understood a lot more. So it's going to take number 3. Number 2, I have Action Comics. And at number 1, no surprise, is Green Lantern. It is really fucking good. Just barely beating Action Comics, though. Really is just barely beating it. Favorite moment for me, I'm going to honestly take any moment of Hal using one of the bad guys' weapons. Just interesting. There was a whole host of B and C tier villains tech being used by Hal Jordan against just stormtrooper after stormtrooper after stormtrooper.
Toyman's tops, Condiment King's condiment guns, Blue Devil's trident, javelins. The Key's key gun. Yeah. And Abracadabra's magic wand.
Abracadabra's wand.
What?
Yeah.
What
I feel like
a
there was one more
fucking menagerie of... I thought she was putting together an arsenal. What the fuck is this?
I mean, this is cataloging fucking everything.
We just got in the shitty section, I suppose.
I mean, clearly they work because it helped him escape. Right?
Nobody tell him or there'll be a team up. Also, did you I can't believe you didn't read the new Oath of the Green Lanterns.
I read it. I don't believe it. I don't.
So you won't say it on the podcast.
It's not. I just think it's very temporary, and I don't think it's necessarily really an oath. Like it's an oath, but it read more just like.
It's blathering, dude.
Yeah.
It's unnecessarily long. Look,
I don't
in
think it's any
deepest-
longer than normal oath. It's 8 bars.
right, but the bars they're
Oh yeah, they're
pretty
uneven.
long
They're
and very
uneven
uneven.
for sure. Yeah.
In deepest space, on planets far and near, the shadow lanterns are now here, and all who will do evil will always fear. That doesn't feel offbeat at all.
Yeah.
The army that does the will of its Lord Premier. Oh boy.
Yeah. It's not good.
No, the UP needs to go all the way away.
This is where I can context Uncle Guggy.
Uncle Guggy. That was horrible. But the rest of it, pretty good.
Uncle
Pretty
Guggy wrote the
good.
oath. Mark wrote the rest of the story.
I buy that.
Yeah. All right, so let's call it here. That was the show.
That was the show. So thank you everybody for watching. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel. And that's the show. So we're getting out of here. You have to as well. Get the hell out. I'm done. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.